All of the women in my family die at age 27. I turned 28 in 2 hours and 32 minutes. My dad always wanted a son. He got 3 daughters instead. He hated us all, hated my twin sisters, hated my mother, but hated me most of all because I was the last child my mother had before she died. That didn't stop him from treating me like his little boy, from attempting to beat the hatred of my own gender into me. "Quit your crying," he'd snap, "or you'll end up like your sniveling bitch of a mother." After years of that, he was shocked I grew up as a tomboy. I think he hated that even more because I was just a constant reminder of what he never got to have. My mother died when she was only 27, when I was only 4. The coroner ruled it a natural passing, some weird heart complication. My dad, though, he says it was because of her family's curse. Whenever I came to him desperate for information about my mother, he never had much to say. I'm convinced he was just drunk since the day she died. "Every woman in her damn family, they die when they're 27. He'd sputter between belches, his breath reeking of stale beer. I think the real curse is that my mom was the one to die, and not him. I wasn't fully convinced by the ramblings of a perpetually drunk man, but when I lost both of my sisters just months before their 28th birthday, I knew it couldn't be a coincidence. Moira was found murdered, her face practically blasted off by a shooter while she was on a jog. Joy took her own life only days later. I was the one who found her hanging in the bedroom of her apartment as I came to pick her up for Moira's funeral. It's hard to live a normal life when you know you'll have an expiration date. I always dreaded my birthday, which became associated less with fun and more with funeral caskets. Once Moira and Joy died, my next birthday, 25, was the most dreadful day of my life. 26 was worse, 27 unimaginable. This is it, I thought. This is the last year of my life. 27 has been uneventful. Why make any plans when they cannot last? The worst part has been not knowing when my death is coming. It could have been any day. It could be within the next minute. I became a recluse, my window shuttered, additional locks installed. I stocked up on preserved foods. I was so paranoid I covered my mail slot and stuffed a towel beneath the front door. I didn't want anything getting through. The night before my 27th birthday, I started getting strange phone calls from a blocked number. I let it ring. The number kept calling at least once per day throughout the past year. Then the knocking started, once a week at first, but it's only gotten worse. More frequent, and the pounding on my door more frantic each time. It's driven me mad, especially over the past week. I got ready for bed last night knowing that tomorrow is the day I will turn 28. My time had run out. I searched for comfort in a bottle of liquor. I didn't find it. I fell into bed, drunk and delirious, and prayed the morning wouldn't come. I eventually got to sleep, but it was restless. That's why I was quick to wake when the door creaked open before dawn. I shot up in bed, glancing around in a frenzied panic. A closer look revealed 2 dark figures standing in the empty space behind the half-opened door, unmoving like a pair of statues. Waiting, watching. Leave me alone," I squeaked, unable to move, paralyzed by their presence. The shadowy figure shuffled out from behind the door, creeping slowly towards me in the dark. I knew this would be the end. Suddenly recalling my self-defense, I flipped the bedside lamp on to stun them and reached underneath for the knife I duct-taped there a year ago. As soon as the light flooded the room, I knew the blade would be of no use. My intruders were not assassins, not human ones at least. They were my sisters. Joy stood at the foot of my bed, pale, in that same conservative black dress I found her dead in. Her head hung parallel to her shoulders, neck grotesquely bent from the hanging. Moira was a few steps behind, her face a ruin, unrecognizable except for the familiar shape of her body. They were here. They had come for me. But they didn't attack. Joy lifted her arm and pointed the trembling finger at the door. They weren't here to kill me. They were here to warn me. The curse wasn't dying at 27. It was living to see what came after.